Hello, welcome back to the Games Corner. And is this card amazing? Volkanovski versus Lopez Part 2. Man, exciting card. I'm really excited for the early prelims. A lot of debuts. Looking forward to it. The prelims, man, this is going to be good. Tafa Brothers, seeing the Tafa Brothers. All right, first fight on the card. The dog of China, the state dog, Su Lung, sounding like a Mortal Kombat character, versus Lawrence from New Zealand, who looks vaguely Asian. Obviously, Su Long's got this. It's a fucking Mortal Kombat character. I actually did a lot of tape study on Su Long. He is a fucking crazy. He's got that dog in him. Fucking hell. Yeah, it could be a little bit of wild, and these are regional fights, so anything could happen. But I'm definitely going to give it to Su Long. Also, Lawrence has a very interesting wrestling sort of striking game plan. And if you know anything about ANZ wrestling, well, it's not the best. Let's just say that offensively. Defensively, yeah, pretty good. But yeah, definitely going to give it to Sulong. So the next one, Nakamura versus Sebastian. Man, Nakamura is a really good striker, let me tell you. I can easily see him hurting Sebastian on entries. He's got good kickboxing at range. He has gotten a lot, and I mean a lot of KOs. So he's only won by decision once. He's got a record of 7-0, and in that record, he's gotten 6 knockouts. So he's a very flashy striker. He gets knees, ground and pound, knockdowns. Is very good. But Sebastian isn't no slouch either. Sebastian striking looks very good. Um, and also, I think this is going to be cardio. I was watching him versus Li Wang in, Road to UFC. Look, that wasn't the best competition, and I could see him slowing down in the second and third a lot. With with Sebastian, he doesn't slow down, man. He is a decision machine. But one very interesting thing that I think you should look at, if the first round goes bad, I don't necessarily think that will be an automatic loss for Sebastian. He's a purple belt in BJJ. His wrestling, look, I'm not going to say he's a fantastic Dagestani wrestler or that it's even competent, but it's there. I can see him getting him up against the fence, getting him frustrated, draining his energy in round two, getting a takedown, and then getting the submission quite easily. Nakamura, the one time he lost was to somebody who had very good wrestling and very good BJJ knowledge, and he got submitted by an arm triangle choke. But if you rewatch that fight against Yu Kiro, he was just dominating him with the wrestling. So if we're talking about Nakamura's wrestling defense, it's just not there. So I'm gonna go Sebastian. Most likely he wins through a decision, just outstriking and outvoluming him. But I actually can see if Nakamura brings this really strong striking game, pieces him up in round one, I can see Sebastian going for more of a wrestling heavy game plan and focusing on takedowns and submitting him. Nakamura doesn't have wrestling defense. He doesn't have submission defense. And look, that's something I can see, man. I can see him getting choked out. So I'm going to give it to Sebastian. So we've got Do Ma Fan, the Australian fighter, believe it or not, versus Sung Yu Kim. Yeah, Do Ma Fan wins quite easily. He is just a better rounded fighter. I guess if you want to say one thing about Sung Yu Kim is that he has more experience. But South Korea, regionally, as a region and place to train, doesn't have good MMA. I'm sorry. Every time I see a debuting Korean fighter, they are pretty terrible. And Australia is a very deep region. Like with a lot of these fights, I gave it to the two foreign guys because I just look. I just can't see them winning. With the first one, he's got better grappling, and then their striking is kind of same level. Like he's got 40% of the striking in the match. Aaron 2 has 60%. Then for the next one, even striking, but he's got better wrestling defense, better offensive wrestling. I can see him grinding the other guy up against the cage. Sebastian wins, but he doesn't win cleanly. It's pretty even, neck and neck. I can see Kumar easily doming him. But Dolma fan, and he's just gonna kick the shit out of this guy. Really, really. He's a decision machine. He's just gonna teep, jab, jab, teep. That's all you're gonna see. It's gonna be like a Sean Strickland fight. And Sang Kim hasn't really fought anybody with the same level of competition. It's not gonna look good. It's not gonna look good. So I'm gonna give it to Dom Arfan easily. Decision. I don't really see him getting a KO. Submission, no way in hell. Okay, up the card, we've got Jan Olaf versus Yiza. So, fake Australian that comes somebody pretending to be Australian that actually is Turkey versus Arab Chinese person. Yeah, Yiza wins this one pretty easily. He's got the better striking. He's got the better wrestling. He's got the better submissions, man. It's just, yeah, it doesn't look the best. Some ways Ya could win is he's got a better clinch, I guess. Better, he can maybe if he grinds the other guy up against the fence, gets a dominant control slash wrestling position. I can see him slowly whittling him down, but if it's just pure wrestling. But look, all of these guys' win cons are big maybes. Look, maybe, and it's not going to look good. From the last card, I can see that they're really favoring striking exchanges. So I'm going to see Yaza basically get that off much more. I'm going to see him win on the striking. Look, I do see a pathway for Jan, like putting him up against the fence, maybe getting a takedown, maybe just being very controlly and rangy. But I'm telling you what, if round one it's an exchange where he gets hit a couple of times and then maybe a cut or maybe some bruising or swelling, they're gonna give it to the other guy. So yeah. Yeah, so up the card, we've got Jacob versus Torres Fiziev. I have no idea why Torres is an underdog here. Like, no reason at all. He is going to wrestle. Fuck this person, let me tell you. This person's only losses come from a person that has a pretty heavy wrestling background. It's not going to be close. And also, look at this guy's fucking upper body. Like, if you've ever seen the Beast Titan from Attack on Titans, seriously, Tony Fiziev is no joke. Built like a fucking comic book character. Again, this guy's gonna jump across the fucking ring with a gorilla slam. Let me tell you, Tony Fiziev is winning this, and he shouldn't be an underdog. So, when first looking at the lines, a lot of these prelims didn't actually show who's the underdog and who's the favorite. But with all my research, I had Tony Torres Fiziev as the favorite. So I'm pretty confident on this one, actually. Tony Fiziev by murder. So I've got Cody Brundage versus Cam Rosen. Yeah, so Cam Rosen wins this pretty convincingly, I think. Cody Brundage, kind of dog water. Again, I just see Cam Rosen kind of has. Does Cody Brundage have better striking? No. Does Cody Brundage have better wrestling, defensive or offensively? No. Does Cody Brundage have better submissions? No. Does Cody Brundage have the ability to get up once taken down? No. The only way I see Cody Brundage winning this is he gets the clinch and makes it ugly. Basically, just going full retard, throwing caution to the wind, and I don't see him doing that. So I'm pretty convincingly going to give it to Cam Roast down. All right, but I'm actually excited for Junior Tafa versus Billy Enkert. Yeah, this guy wins easily. Billy, easily. The Tafa brothers are the worst. Like, I don't even know how they have a job in the UFC. Seriously. I do think Junior Tafa is a much, 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 much better fighter than his Tai Tuivasa. 100%. I see that. But yeah, it's basically any fight you see Junior Tafa in. Can the other person take him down? He loses. That's basically it. Seriously, all of Tai Tuivasa's, sorry, all of Junior's losses have come from people that have been able to take him down. If I was him, I would go to America or Dagestan for a year. Your striking is pretty good. Dagestan's getting much better with striking. And just learn Sambo defensive wrestling, honestly. This is what he needs, especially when he keeps on going up against Brazilian competition. He will get taken down in this match. I guarantee you. And it's either going to be they're going to stop it from ground and pound, or, counters. And honestly, Australia isn't that bad of a country to learn defensive wrestling. Look, you're never going to learn offensive wrestling in Australia, the type you need for MMA, at least. But you are going to learn. We've got Australia's got a great deep judo pool. It's got great BJJ. It's got great defensive MMA wrestling. And I don't know how this guy doesn't learn any of it, honestly. Up the card, we have Kwan St. Kilda versus Jamie Murray. Now, I don't know why St. Kilda's such a heavy favorite here. Yeah, I know Murray's incredibly, incredibly chinny, but you know what? I'm going with him and by submission. Come back to this video and tell me. Call me a retard, say, oh, I remember that time you had stock in Jamie Murray, but hey, I think he gets it done by submission. Seriously. I can see this. I've just got this vision of it. I don't know. Oh, Tai Tuivasa versus Teleson Terra. Tai Tuivasa is not bad. It's going to be a very interesting fight. But here's the thing. The guy he's going up against is very, very chinny. And, okay, some people say the Derek Lewis fight was called earlier, but look, his body was there, his fucking brain was in St. Paulo. That's all I'm going to say. He fucking got his shit shaken. Fucking Derek Lewis made his brain do the fucking thug shaker in there. So, Tai Tuivasa's had a long fucking layoff. His fight last year got cancelled because of some medical issue or some shit. But I'm gonna give it to Tai Tuivasa. I'm gonna say he gets this done by KO. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a fucking ugly KO, and he's gonna be back, do a shoey, take off his pants. I do feel like betting on Taylor's Terror by KO will actually be pretty good here. I can see him getting just on top of Tai Tuivasa, but those first exchanges, look, he didn't really do that much against Derek Lewis, and Tai Tuivasa isn't like Justin Tafa. Like Justin Tafa is like a 10 in striking and then a fucking -0 in wrestling and jiu-jitsu. He's not. He's a competent MMA fighter and he's trained with high-level competition from middleweight and welterweight. I think we're going to see more of a refined Tai Tuivasa with a better game plan. I don't feel like Alice Terra's striking is there yet. So I'm going to give it to Tai Tuivasa. Okay, so now we're in the point of the card where I don't really care, man. Not to say that's a bad thing. But yeah, we've got Razev Fiziev versus Marco Ruffy. I don't even know why this one's a toss-up. Marco Ruffy wins this one pretty convincingly. How? Obviously, it's dealer's choice, but I'll just put it in the money line. It's not too bad. Benoit Saint Denis versus Dan Hooker. This is either going to be a submission or KO. I don't see this one going the distance with either of them. Dan Hooker's scary on the feet, man. Like, fuck, he even damaged Armin, and Armin is basically championship level. Did he do too bad in that fight? No, he stood with Armin and banged, and Armin doesn't have bad striking at all. But you know, there's a pretty big gap in Dan Hooker's game plan. He's got really, really bad wrestling. His jiu-jitsu isn't terrible, actually. I know he got caught by a pretty meathead choke in that fight with Armin Sarukian, but you know, he wasn't looking bad on the feet, and that's not how bad is Dan Hooker. That's how good is Armin Sarukian with getting that. But this is Ben Saint Denis' game. I'm not going to decision. I can either see the TKO or the submission. Oh, I've got to think about this one. No, I'm going to go TKO. Benoit Saint Denis. Now, what we've all been waiting for, Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez by KO. I am betting the house. I'm putting a $1,000 bet on this. Volk's just not winning, unfortunately. It's really good, but, you know, in that first fight, Volk, I think the judges gave it to Volk 4-1. Yeah, it's a lot of those rounds were close. Volk simply doesn't have the power to flatline Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez is fantastic. Good chin. He's got a very good chin, let me tell you. So yeah, I see him pulling this one through. By no means is Volk a bad fighter, but I could definitely see that it was out of his prime in that last fight. And then the big layoff, you know, I'm not saying this is, if Volk wins, you know, I won't be surprised. This is like a really choppy 50-50 fight. But, yeah, and even the lines moved a lot more. I think at the start of the week, Diego Lopez was at 270, but now it's same. I think this is going to be a pretty fantastic card, honestly. I am disappointed by that Aaron Paul. Oh, God, I want to see that guy fight so bad. It was going to be sick. It looks crazy. Final takes. Jamie Murake by submission. It's going to happen. Quillan Salkild is a very good MMA fighter, but his last two fights was some random Arab and Andrew Jajibli, who the Indian Khabib. I'm just saying. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna be shocked when he hits the submission.